hour late.
That's an hour sometimes it's not bad. Well, we were at 12:50. Did we have it at 12:30 or 12 today?
We had it at an hour ago, almost exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at 12:15. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's tough making content. You just kind of have to take care of things before you can go live.
Oh come on.
Okay, I can go up and put this on the
No,
X platform.
not this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, freaking.
Let's see.
YouTube sucks sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Right now. Start. I want to go live now.
Okay, here we go.
And why is it doing this to me? No. It's giving me a window. Like, I need to be able to get into, like, control this stream. Maybe I just need to go a different way. Here it is. We are streaming this now. If I go that way, no. How do I get there? View in the control room. Okay, that's what I need to do. I believe we are live, though.
We are live. I'm
we're live. Okay.
Reposting this. We have three viewers, so welcome.
Welcome. Okay. Great. Yeah, I don't know where everybody's viewing from, but that's okay.
Okay.
I succeeded in not swearing when
that's pretty good.
When YouTube screwed me.
This is going
where are people watching from? Comment something, because I'm seeing numbers on YouTube and Facebook that don't add up to where you are. So say hello in the comments.
Just chase somebody out of here. So
great.
Something right.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Okay, great. That's on. Now I gotta make sure. I'm gonna go over here. Awesome. And I'm going to LinkedIn. I wonder if people hang out on LinkedIn like they do on X, and like, you could capture them with the live stream. It's
I get with Mac Geek Gab, I get people watching on LinkedIn.
You do. Okay.
It's I'm not aware of it because it doesn't like integrate their comment. If they comment there, it doesn't show up in like the engine that we use, which is called StreamYard. And so, but I hear about it anecdotally. I hear people say, "Oh yeah, I see you on LinkedIn every time you live stream." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool, great.
That's
glad
great.
to hear it." Yeah,
that's good. Okay, so here I can do this. Join us live. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
Wow, there's a lot of people watching here.
That's terrific.
I couldn't agree more.
That's great. Maybe with the holidays, folks have a little more time on their hands.
Yeah.
To watch it. Okay, I'm posting this on. There we go. Cool. All right.
Jawohl.
Terrific. All right, so let me
This
get
is
out
amazing.
Of here so
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Huh.
Okay. I'm ready to go anytime you are, sir.
Oh, it's on X. Okay, it is
Nice.
telling us where people are watching. I can see it now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see that. How do I see that?
If you float over the little eyeball at the top of our screen where it has the number,
It'll
if you
show
just
you.
float over it,
Oh,
it'll show
I got you.
Yep.
Okay, great. 1 Facebook, 12 on
12
X.
on X.
Terrific.
Yeah.
I love X, dude. I cannot tell you how foolish I feel for ignoring the X or Twitter platform for so many years because I thought it was a cesspool of whatever. But listening back to it is if you make it that.
Correct. If you let it be that, you wouldn't make it that.
Yeah.
But you can easily let that in. It's a little more difficult to keep it out, but it's not a huge effort.
No,
it just takes,
I think the way to do it, and we should probably do a whole show about this, is you need multiple accounts. You need your name. I think I like your name account, and then I think the having an anonymous account is great. And you can get into all kinds of stuff that you don't want in your normal feed.
Yeah, see, I don't. That's the stuff I don't want in my life, not in my feed.
Yes, that's what I mean. But what I find is,
if you have that desire, then the anonymous account would be good. That's right.
So my account is just all business, small business stuff, and I've connected with some amazing people, and I've learned a lot, and it's terrific. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, great. Sign. Okay.
Hey, Johnny D. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for hanging out.
Great.
Enjoying your time off, I bet, Johnny D. We got to catch up Johnny D. Now is a bad time though because I got a thing to do here. But it's good to see you, Johnny D. All right. Yep.
Very good.
Okay. So this first episode, we are talking about hacking, productivity, delegating. If you stick around, we're doing 2 episodes here. I'll let everybody in pre-show know because we came in late. We're going to talk about hacking your productivity with delegating and automating or both. And then the second topic of this first episode is going to be kind of depressing because it's going to talk about, slow years and slow
End
business.
Of the year.
And, and should you kill your business off? So that's just sort of depressing.
That's the title. Right?
However, the opening topic for 511, the second episode that we're going to do, is going to be how my bank saved my ass. It saved me $25,000. So,
that's terrific.
Like of our own mistakes. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be something.
And I think we should, the pre-show thing is cool, and I think some people like to see it. But I wonder if, we've dropped back down to 4 viewers, and from 13 or so, and I wonder if we should roll into it quicker and maybe
I doubt it.
Engagement. Doesn't matter.
No, I think just the opposite.
Oh, okay,
because
great.
people can get the episode. I think the pre-show banter is there's 2 different types of audiences.
I see. Yeah.
I think.
Okay, great. Yeah,
yep.
I'm happy to do whatever.
Yep.
You're the guy, like I said, you control the knobs.
I'll control the knobs. That's right. Yeah, I control the knobs in this relationship.
That's perfect.
That's a comment that'll keep Johnny D around. Okay. I control the knobs in my relationship with Johnny D too. We've worked together a bunch, both in the podcasting business, but also on stage. So
nice.
I do tend to control the knobs there too.
Yeah, that works. Everybody has a role.
Yes. All right. I do need to test to make sure. Yeah. All right. Look, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Gut. Sound balanced
terrific.
to you?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Great. Then it's time to record the show. So I need to figure out where we are, timing wise. We are at, it's going to be about 8 minutes. 8 minutes. It'll be 8 minutes by the time we're there. Okay, so this is going to be 5:10 for tomorrow. I can do this. I know how to do it.
Terrific.
Do this. Great. And away we go. Oh, I got to have that where it should be. Okay. Got to turn the knobs to the right spot.
It's important.
Business Brain, the show for entrepreneurs, episode 510 for Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take a topic or 3, we crunch it, we dissect it, we look at it, in order to keep tuning our business brains together, which keeps us all living those charmed lives. Sponsors for this episode include gusto.com/businessbrain. That's where you're going to go to get 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more totally free. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out here in Lafayette, California, I'm Shannon Jean. How goes it, man?
It goes. Yeah.
Good.
No complaints. It's rocking and rolling, getting ready for the the timing of the
holidays,
the holidays and all that stuff.
I'm coming off of a long weekend, terrific weekend, but 2 big parties, one Friday night, one Saturday night, and I hate to say I'm still recovering. Good, great events, great to get together with everybody, and
it is nice to kind of hang.
I love
and
it. Yeah,
it's good. It's good. You're a very social person, aren't you?
Pretty social, yeah.
Yeah.
We have lots of different friend groups and people that we hang out with, and I really enjoy it. I think it's great, and like I said, love connecting. I said it this weekend. One of the best parts of life is hanging out with people that you care about, laughing, joking around. We had Santa at my house on Saturday night, and everybody, making people go sit on his lap and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. Laughter.
That's fun.
And good food, good friends.
I need to be better at that. I'm not I have learned to be. I am a naturally shy person. I'm an introvert. I have learned how not to be shy, but I don't go out of my way to like invite people to my house. And I feel like I'm missing out on kind of some of that, especially as we're entering this empty nesting and all of that stuff.
I would. That's what I was going to say. With now my kids gone, and like Renee, my wife, really wanted to big Thanksgiving, but it gets harder because everybody's doing their thing, and then my kids are doing their thing. So we have a group of people we hang out. We take our dogs to the park every day at like 4:00, and there was like 20 of those people, and we said, "Hey, come on over." And we had Friendsgiving and
Dogsgiving.
Dogsgiving. One big long table with 18 people at it, and it was amazing. And it was just a wonderful way to start the holidays and then we went around and somebody said, "Hey, let's go around and say what we're thankful for," and it was pretty magical, man.
That's
there was
pretty
a couple of older folks that had lost their spouses in the last year, and being able to be there and have that sense of community, it was great. And it's actually something I miss from having a bunch of employees and running a business, is that going into work and seeing everybody and how was your weekend and talking.
Well, right? It's interesting that you say that, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I've noticed that the people that I consider my friends, like I have lots of people who are friends, but the people that I see regularly and hang out with regularly are people that are either in my family or that I do some kind of work with.
Sure.
And it could be like playing in bands is certainly, part of that. Like I very much enjoyed not only the playing of the music, but the hanging out with the people. Like set breaks are just as enjoyable for me as the playing, right? When it's, especially with the right band. And in fact, we had somebody we had Johnny D in our pre-show chat that, and he is somebody that I've done both with. He worked for us for a while, and he's worked in the industry for a while, but I also play in a band with him. But it's like, I was wondering, I'm like, should I have more? Should I have people that I don't play in a band with, that I don't work with, that I hang out with? And if so, when would I fit this into my schedule?
Well, I will tell you that, it is work. It takes work to time, and you have to put yourself out there. But it's just like, I liken it to people when you go to the office. Like, we would hang out. We did our Friday barbecues. You do those kinds of things. So, that interaction is, I think it's critical, but you have to manage it obviously to your time.
Sure.
And I've got a little more time on my hands than I had.
Yeah.
But, when you have little kids, you're connected with lots of people.
It's sort of automatic
because they've got kids, and you're playing sports, and you're doing this and theater and this kind of thing. But
correct.
I loved that social aspect. I think it's it's not often discussed, the social benefits of owning a business, because you get to pick who you hang out with.
It's true. It's because you're picking your employees.
Correct.
Is what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
And there was some people that turned out to be great friends, and I'm still in connection today.
Yeah, absolutely.
People that we've hired from one of our businesses to work on another business, you and I've owned. So you do get to meet great people, and I would highly recommend putting yourself out there and connecting with more people, and I think it's really beneficial for your well-being. And we're in the communication business, customer service business, like you always say. You get better at it if you interact with people more.
All right, look, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Gusto. But instead of reading a script about Gusto's payroll and benefits, I want to tell you what small business owners who use Gusto, what they say. These are people who use Gusto every day. Here's one now. With Gusto, I think of payroll as a 30-second job. The website is so friendly and a joy to use. Friendly payroll? I mean, okay, like that's new. Amy from Utah says, I love Gusto so much. They do our medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. It's so painless, it's like going to the spa. And we have great options and rates, even though we're a super small team. Health insurance, like going to the spa. This is why we have Gusto on as a sponsor, right? And here's what Amneet says about Gusto's customer support team. Whenever something comes up, I reach out and literally 24 hours later, they tell us what to do or assure us they've already handled it for us. Friendly humans, smart technology. This is great. And the list goes on. And right now, because you're a listener of Business Brain, you get 3 months free when you go to gusto.com/businessbrain. Yep. 3 months of payroll, benefits admin, and more totally free. I mean, like, we got to go do this right now, Shannon. Again, that's gusto.com/businessbrain. 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more totally free. Go check it out. Gusto.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode. All right, Shannon. So that was a nice kind of heartfelt and heartwarming conversation we had at the beginning of the show there. We're going to destroy everybody here.
Take it to darker waters.
It's going to get to be a little darker. Yeah. So I was having a conversation with a friend recently, a business owner. So it turns out I do have friends who are I don't, but we sort of work together ish. But he was lamenting how this year's been slow in general, for his business specifically, but kind of the market in general. There maybe the last few weeks is looking better than the entire year has looked, but in terms of the markets, but and also last year, we before all the COVID lockdowns, like 2019, things were rocking, and then we went into those lockdowns and things slowed down for a hot second, and then at least for those of us in the online business world, the money just poured. I called it the silver lining of COVID. I don't want to go back to that.
Similar experience, right?
Yeah, right. But there was at least the money was flowing, and it was there were a lot of reasons for it. But one of them was the government was pumping money into the economy.
We've given all that money back inflation now, but
that's the problem.
At the time, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah, but it kept people employed as opposed to paying it in unemployment, right? So like that was fine, and then. Also, for those of us in businesses online, unlike the people in, say, the service business, the money didn't have anywhere to go in the service and travel business and all of that. And so it flowed, all of the money that was there plus the extra money flowed online. And it was great. And then, the reality set in and the economy softened and et cetera, and it's cyclical and it's normal. And we've seen this before, not the COVID thing before, but, we've seen down cycles in the economy, and some businesses last, some businesses don't last. Sometimes there's consolidation. There's all the things. And he was saying to me, he's like, yeah, we're down this year, and we were even down a little last year. And I'm like, yeah, man, same. Like I have no I'm not happy to share this.
It's good to share it though.
But it is good to share it. Like, we will write down a loss for Backbeat Media this year. Not a terrible loss, but it's a little bit, and it's certainly not the first time, and it's not something that we're panicking about. We've seen it before, but I share it because I know that there's people out there in your businesses that are going to do the same thing, and it's how it is. And my friend was saying this to me, and he's like, but I feel okay because I have enough runway. I can keep the business going for 2 more years. And I have this was a loaded comment because I have a good relationship with this person. So I was able to say, okay, hey, wait though. Like, if what happens after that? Like, it's good you have the runway. That's amazing. But what are you using it for? Are you using it to get you to the site of the crash?
Yes.
That's
a crazy framework to think about.
I mean, there's my pilot friends always tell me about twin engine planes. You folks aren't going to want to hear this, but in pilot circles, this is universally known that people ask, "What's the second engine for in a twin engine plane?" And they say, "Oh, it gets you to the site of the crash." Yeah, because you need both engines to go. So if he's got one engine. Is it like, what are you going to do with that 2 years of runway to ensure that you're profitable and that thriving, not just surviving until the end, you're thriving past that? Because if you don't have that plan, end it now.
That's right.
End it now and take that money and do something else with it that is good for you and your employees and all of that 2 years from now. And it might not be the same employees. Like, I get all that.
Yeah. That's why the title of this episode is going to be, Should You Kill Your Business? Because it may
Yeah, of course.
be, are you putting off making, brutal decisions? You don't want to lay people off. You've got leases that have a couple years to run. Well, you can go. Certainly, you should think about negotiating those leases, even if you have to pay them out. It's certainly cheaper if you're losing. Well, I don't know. You got to look at the numbers. Is the business just skating by? But you and I know from personal experience, Dave, if you have that kind of framework and something happens and you take your eye off the business, thinking it's just going to continue to run, it's not going to happen. You're going to be really disappointed, and you're not going to be. I would say in 2 years you're going to be way deeper in the hole than you are today.
I've been there. I did that. Yeah. I mean, I took my eye off the ball with the businesses when my kids were kind of in what I call that critical time that you never get back with them. That, the just pre-high school years when they're like humans, but don't have huge interests outside of the house.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't regret it. And I would almost certainly make the same choice again. However, I am aware of what that meant. And there was a point in time, 7, 8 years ago where it was like, oh man, I gotta put my eye back on the ball.
Sure.
To me, that's inspiring though.
Yeah.
Like that little bit of panic is like, all right, this is my fault and I can fix it. So
I had a comment from somebody that I'm working with the other day, and they said, everything worth doing is tinged with the edge of fear, right? And so, like you said, oh man, I got to jump back into this thing. I got to push myself. I got to get that. And if you're thinking, okay, I got 2 years to kind of ride this out, and you don't have a plan or a system that you're
riding it out isn't what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're going to sell it. Maybe you're going to. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a very good use of your time, and it doesn't sound like good use of money. I mean, certainly, I've renegotiated leases before when things didn't work out with locations, and they're used to that discussion. It's not like you're just telling them to go pound sand. I would argue that you could probably get 50% off, or at least to tell them, hey, we're going to close this place down. Please put it up for rent. And see if you can lease it out.
See if we can sublet my remainder out. Exactly. Of course.
So I think that because the thinking is now, otherwise you're just pushing that stuff out 2 years. You're going to have.
You're kicking that can down the road. Yeah. And it is worth, because my friend was like, oh my gosh, thank you for saying that, and it really did. Like, I think there will be a positive outcome from this, but it's one of those things where it is worth talking this out with someone, because I don't mean to point fingers. Like I know that when I point one out, three are pointing back at me. Yes. We don't necessarily hear our own words objectively, and a lot of it is, like you said, the excuse, like, well, I don't want to lay people, I don't want to make hard decisions, so I'm just going to kick this can down the road. Now,
I've done
same.
That. I mean, same. It's the same with letting people go that you just know.
Yep.
Or stopping. Like I've worked with my wife for, I don't know, 15, 20 years now, and I'm always about a year behind making some crucial decision. She'll say, hey, you should get out. You should leave because these people don't need you here anymore. Yeah. Or this market is dried up. You should go start another business. And sure enough, I'm always like, no.
I can do it.
I can fix this. I can
fix it. Yeah.
And I'm going through one right now. I mean, I've wrote a great wave talk about the down business. Like, the handbag business is just like non-existent now. We've done millions of dollars in business. It was a terrific business, but I probably should have moved out of it about a year ago. And so now I'm sitting here going, okay, how do I do this? So now I started talking to my accountant the other day about, is there a way to donate a business and what the benefits are?
Get a write down for that somehow.
Yeah, I have a really great charity nonprofit that I've worked with this company, and I've trying to figure out, is there some benefit for them, benefit for me. And if it does happen, I'll certainly talk about it here. On the show.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that it's
it's
a
just
bit
normal. It's a normal
that's
transition.
The thing is, it's normal, right?
And my part of my problem is that I look internally all the time. Oh, I'm doing something wrong here. It's not working.
I mean,
anymore.
sometimes that's true. Like
Yes.
for me, 7 or 8 years ago, that was like
Right.
certainly the market does what the market does, but.
Yes.
I took my eye off the ball with that. Like that I looked at it and it was like, oh, I can fix this by simply paying attention.
Correct. Yeah, that's a little different than
it's
now.
different, right?
And one of the ways that I've realized that it's not me, it's just the economy, and people are not buying $1,500, $2,000 handbags as much as they were before COVID and during COVID with stimulus money.
Yeah.
And that goes back to kind of where we started about being connected. Now you're very well connected with your industry peers.
Absolutely.
And that's crucial. It's very important for me because then I can hear these discussions and oh, you're down as well. Okay. It's not just me. It's not even my market or what business that I'm in. It's just the economy, in general. Now,
in general.
Yeah.
Now it may be on the way back up. We hit some records in the last week here. So
we did.
and being in the business of selling advertising, right? We are, I always say that we are a leading indicator of both down and up economies. Because when people start running out of money, they cut their marketing budgets immediately.
Yeah.
But it is one of the first things that comes back when they have money again. And we're like, Q4 has been pretty soft. The last 2 weeks, we've been tearing our hair out here. Like I have not stopped. It's just been crazy.
Yeah,
now that's a good thing.
Yes,
it's good, but it's like, oh, okay. People think they have money now. Let's, now check with me in 2 months. I'll let you know if they actually have money.
Yeah.
Right. But things have loosened up a little bit in terms of the sentiments of spending. We'll see if it continues. But yeah, it's been fascinating. So yeah.
That's great.
And just in case anybody is listening who is impacted by the decisions that I make, and I know there are many of you out there, the folks who work for me, the shows that we represent, this is not one of those euphemistic conversations where a friend is actually me.
Yeah,
it's not me. I'm not thinking about shutting down my business.
Yeah, right.
Like it's all good. This was actually a conversation with a friend in a related but different market. So yeah.
So if how's your year been with your business?
How's business?
You're in your service business, product business, e-commerce. Feedback at businessbrain.show. We'll talk about, we can share your experience and anonymize it, of course, and talk about it on the show. We'd love to hear from you. And I appreciate hearing from sharing any experience that you have. It helps us all.
Absolutely. Yep. Feedback at businessbrain.show. And of course, check out gusto.com/businessbrain. I'm really going to do this. This seems like I got to do it. So have a good week. Keep living that charmed life. We'll see you next week. And we're out. Let me figure out where we are.
All right.
At 28:17. 28:17 end. Okay. That's that. 8 minutes start. I got to move this around so that I'm doing things in the right order here. Nope. Otherwise, I screw it all up, Shannon.
I hear you.
Yepper. All right. So we are not in pre-show now. I guess I got to change the banners. We are in mid-show. I guess I got to create a different banner. So mid-show. Between episodes. Episodes here. All right. I can do that. And I can... Where is it here? Between. Yep. Woo. Okay. Now I got to kind of do my job for 5 seconds here.
Got it.
90 seconds, whatever it works out to be. That was 5:10 that we just did.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying it out loud.
Yes.
Yep.
Great.
Great. 5:10. There we go. While I'm putting this up here, I will share with you. I have, I mentioned that GigGab is changing, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that needs to change is our logo, because it says with Dave Hamilton and Paul Kent, and it actually has pictures of the two of us.
That's
kind of like our logo here.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I can certainly, I know how to, I have people that I could hire. I know how to hire people, but I was like, let me see if I can do a logo myself. And so I didn't have ChatGPT do the entirety of the logo, but I used it as kind of a sounding board and designing things. And then I took some of the ideas and whipped together what I think is going to be our logo, at least for a short period of time.
Awesome.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. I love it too. From that aspect, it's amazing as a sounding board, kind of a, foundational things or outline builder to get you going. I think that it's a hugely helpful.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it did like the framework of it, and then it was like, all right, great. Now I have to like clean out some elements. I wish I could like have it draw something and then say, okay, great, but just take out that one thing, just like I can with a human.
Yeah, it won't do
like
it.
take out the words.
It has to change it.
It's fundamentally different.
Yeah, it can't, because if you say, oh, I like that, but I want to remove these three things, it'll draw you a completely different image.
It was completely different image.
And you may like that image, but you still can't,
I told it, I said, you are a graphic design expert. I need a square logo for Gig Gab, a show for working musicians. Make it simple and clean and scalable so it looks great at both large and small sizes. Now, that prompt in and of itself was an evolution of like two other things. I started a completely new session. I put that in. And what happened with this session that was different from others was I got 2 paragraphs first before it drew me anything. It said, creating a logo for Gig Gab requires a design that's simple and scalable. Considering the target audience, the logo should incorporate elements that resonate with musicians, like musical symbols or instruments. However, since the logo needs to be simple and scalable, like it talked about its thought process.
Methodology, huh?
Yeah. And I think that might have been because I said, you are a graphic design expert. And so it felt like it needed to share its expertise, but that was the best round of logos I got. But each iteration came up with a completely different logo.
Totally different. I know.
Yeah.
It's hard. And the other thing I would love to do is to be able to upload an image to do something like, I want it to look like this. Similar
use Adobe Firefly for that.
It lets you do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna check. I gotta check that out.
Yep.
The other one I really liked was, I actually posted this in Slack. I don't know if you saw it. Was the let me see. Yeah, this invideo.io.
I haven't used that. Yeah.
So I was able to upload an entire post that I had done on the X platform. I was talking about the 2 tokens customer service thing.
I saw that. That was actually really well done. Yep.
Yeah. I uploaded that, and it created a video all about this the concept with a voiceover, actors. Yeah, I posted the link for you.
Okay. I told you I've been slammed with
it's amazing.
all my stuff.
It's amazing.
Okay, I gotta get into this. Yeah.
It blew my mind, and I've only messed with it for like 5 minutes. I did 2.
Oh, okay.
I did 2 videos, and it. You should play around with it, and then maybe we'll do an episode on it. Because it's immediately useful for small business owners.
Oh, I can. Yes, I already know how I wished I had paid attention to your thing, because 2 days ago I had to do a thing.
Yeah. This should, when people come to your website, you want to, you only have them for a few seconds.
Yep.
You roll the video, man.
Roll tape.
And,
yep.
And get them look at it, because I had this. I don't know how many words are in this post. Maybe 1,200 or something like that. But they put this whole concept together, subtitles, voiceover.
What?
I know, man. It blew my mind.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I will dig into that.
Take a look at that, and then we'll do a show after the holidays.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I believe I'm ready to rock here.
Sounds great. I'm ready to record as well.
One, I need to change this. It's going to be Business Brain 511, Wednesday, December 27th. Okay. Yep.
Sounds good. And
okay. Start 30 or 30 or so. Okay. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Business Brain, episode 511 for Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take a few ideas, we crunch them, we analyze them, we discuss them, we dissect them, so that we can each tune our business brains together individually and collectively every single week. Sponsors for this episode include gusto.com/businessbrain, where you can go to get 3 months totally free payroll, benefits admin, and more. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, the last episode of Business Brain for the year, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out in Lafayette, California, I'm Shannon Jean, and happy to wrap up 2023. It's been an interesting,
I'm happy to. Yeah.
It's an interesting year.
That's thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I had an interesting thing happen this year, Shannon. I can't believe I didn't share it with you and our listeners, but the time has come to share it because I've been approached with the same scam, and my bank saved us $25,000
wow.
about 2 months ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we're rocking and rolling. We're doing our things. Like Thanksgiving is coming up or whatever. You know, it's like whatever. It's like, I guess, early November, maybe Halloween-ish. It was a busy, kind of chaotic time, whatever. And I get a text, a Slack message in our Backbeat Media Slack from Lisa, my wife, who does our bookkeeping and like all of that stuff. And she's like, hey, the bank bounced that wire. Do you have any other instructions? Do you want me to reach out to the guy? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, yeah, and she told me some name or whatever. I'm like, I have no idea what. Finally, it was like, I needed to just there was a lot of, being transacted on 16 different levels, like we all are all the time, and I'm like, all right, you got to treat me like I'm 5 years old. I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, the big wire for like $24,892 or something. I'm like, wow. I don't know. I'm like, to who? She's like, that consulting thing. And I'm like, nope. She's like, you told me about it. I'm like, nope.
Wow.
She had gotten an email that appeared to be from me. Really? Email addresses are easy to spoof.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, can you send this wire to Steve so-and-so? It's got to go out today.
Wow.
And but the from address was not from me. It wasn't from my Dave at Backbeat, email, but it said it was from Dave Hamilton, and I'm like, I didn't. And in this moment, she's realizing, oh my God. And so she emailed back and forth with this person that she thought was me. And even as she was showing me everything, she's like, I can't believe this didn't raise any flags for me. She's like, this person doesn't communicate doesn't use words like you do. You would never have sent me this via email. You would have Slacked me. We stay away from email for inter-office communication, right? Yep. We use Slack. She's like, I don't know why this worked on me. She's like, but it did. I'm like, clearly, and thank goodness the bank caught this.
So she sent the wire.
She initiated the wire.
And the bank came back and said, hey, we need further verification?
This account is flagged as a spam account. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Good on your bank, dude.
No kidding. We say bad things about our banks sometimes.
Of course, yeah.
Can't say that about this one right now.
Yeah, that's terrific. It is interesting because I've seen this lately, maybe I'm sure a lot of people have, but every time you hit log into the bank or you do something with payments, there's a flag. Hey, scams are up, everything's, here's how to avoid all this kind of stuff. And, I think I'm pretty savvy and have taught my family to be savvy and people that work for me, but I could just see it very easy to slip things through for sure.
I got an email from Jeff, one of the guys that works for us at Backbeat the other day, and he was like, hey, make sure I just changed banks. Things are kind of chaotic. Before you send the next payroll, please, update my banking, here's my routing and here's the, for the ACH transaction.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, why is he wasting my time with this? He knows Lisa does this. Oh. So it worked on me too for a second. And then I looked and I saw, I'm like, wait, it's from his full name. So these people have figured out who the powers that be are, or maybe they haven't. They just kind of, cast a wide net. Yeah. But they know who, like the full names of people. But what I noticed, I have my mail set up for certain people to show up as VIPs. And that includes all the people that work for me and like my family. And I noticed, I'm like, something's not right. Like there's no star next to his name. There should be. And it was like, oh, because it's not coming from his like Jeff at Backbeat Address or whatever. Yeah. That's crazy, and so it was like, okay, well, this is BS. Jeff doesn't know anything about this. Like he didn't do this. But that's nuts. But like, I don't know if we hadn't been through the thing for 25 grand, 2 months ago or whatever.
Maybe you wouldn't have just processed it.
I don't know if it, so I wanted to share it because A, it's a fascinating story. And B, hopefully it reminds, if somebody's asking you to wire them money, like, and especially if it's someone like contact them via a different method to confirm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Share your scam stories with us. Feedback at businessbrain.show so we can share them with everybody else and all protect ourselves.
All right, look, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Gusto. But instead of reading a script about Gusto's payroll and benefits, I want to tell you what small business owners who use Gusto, what they say. These are people who use Gusto every day. Here's one now. With Gusto, I think of payroll as a 30-second job. The website is so friendly and a joy to use. Friendly payroll? I mean, okay, like that's new. Amy from Utah says, I love Gusto so much. They do our medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. It's so painless, it's like going to the spa. And we have great options and rates, even though we're a super small team. Health insurance, like going to the spa. This is why we have Gusto on as a sponsor, right? And here's what Amneet says about Gusto's customer support team. Whenever something comes up, I reach out and literally 24 hours later, they tell us what to do or assure us they've already handled it for us. Friendly humans, smart technology. This is great. And the list goes on. And right now, because you're a listener of Business Brain, you get 3 months free when you go to gusto.com/businessbrain. Yep. 3 months of payroll, benefits admin, and more totally free. I mean, like, we got to go do this right now, Shannon. Again, that's gusto.com/businessbrain. 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more totally free. Go check it out. Gusto.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode. So, Shannon, a couple of years ago, we started asking you folks, asking our listeners about how, like, what you wanted to hear on the show and that sort of thing. And one of the things that you folks didn't say this, but we intuited it, and I think we got it right. And we have succeeded at all the way through 2023, and we're about to fail at, is that we stopped having business coaches on the show.
What an intro. What an intro.
Shannon, do you have a new business that you're launching that you want to tell us about?
I want to talk about this concept. Yeah, because for years I have always wanted to, productize my knowledge. And I've written a few books.
That's what we do on the show here.
Yeah, right. But I was like, okay, I really want to get. And the other thing I'm, like kind of like I did the experiment about 5 years ago where I wanted to start a business just on my phone. Now I want to start a business that I'm not geographically limited, because I need to do some things that I need to be different places, and I don't want to be tied to anything.
Totally get it.
Next series of my life. So I'm like, okay, how do I really build a business that can productize my knowledge? So of course, I hired a coach to help me start a business to be a coach.
I think that's the people who I see that are coaches that are successful and thriving are many of them, not all of them, but the majority of the ones that I see, and this is anecdotal, it's not data, are coaches that coach people to be coaches, right? Like the meta coaches. Because those are the people that are spending money.
It's interesting that I've just had some kind of revelations of learning this, how to do it, and building a curriculum and figuring out the why somebody would hire me, and how to focus in on what their pain points are. And so I'm learning a lot, which is terrific. I love it, and it makes me very nervous because it's something brand new. And what I've realized is that for years, decades of being in the product business, well, I've kind of been able to hide behind the product.
Right? Right? Of course.
It's not me out there. If the product fails, whatever, I'll just get another product. I'll buy another load. I'll do the whatever.
Yeah.
But if this doesn't work, well, it's on me, right? It's my knowledge. It's really hanging it out there. And so I've struggled. I've been working on it for about a month or so, and I've got this great guy who's helping me through it. And a big part of it is, to your point, building credibility and authenticity. And what I've learned about the coaching business is a lot of coaches out there that have never started a company, never sold a company, never had employees, never had to fire people, never had, don't have a podcast that they've run, with you for 8 years and 500
almost 9
episodes, almost 9.
Yeah.
So when I connected with this, my coach, he was just like, dude, you have all this stuff that most of these people don't have. We just have to figure out how to point it into where someone, hey, I can be of help. This is how to do it. So it's really been great, and it's definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone. But I feel like the last couple of weeks especially, I've made some really good progress. And I'm at the point now where I actually need to practice, and I'd love to, make this offer and find a few people, listeners that would love to connect, and, maybe I can help solve a problem. You may have a particular pain point, you may have a question, you may just want some feedback, but I'd love to give you half an hour of my time for free, and to just go through this framework that I'm working on and answer some questions, so it would hopefully help you. I think it will, and I know it'll certainly help me. And the way to get connected with me is just go to my website, which is my name, shannongene.com, and /free. So shannongene.com/free, and I'm going to pick about 10 or so people. I'm putting this out on a few other platforms as well, and I've got a questionnaire to ask, hey, tell me about your business. And if I feel like because I really do love talking about this. Hopefully, if you've heard me, talking for the last 5 years, you understand how much I enjoy this stuff. And that's why I do this show. So it'd be great. I'd love to meet some people, share some knowledge, solve a few problems, and keep going down this path. And I'll keep talking about it as I go.
I like this idea of a coach, like what you're going through. I like what you're offering people. But the part that gets my wheels spinning is like what you've been doing for the last month-ish, where you've got somebody that's a professional, an expert,
absolutely,
but really just an expert third party helping you get over that the imposter syndrome, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, in a sense,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, it's like, you have all these things, and then of course, not just convincing you need to get over it, but part of the process of convincing you is helping you assemble your knowledge into a curriculum and those sorts of things.
Type
Deliver,
thing.
Yeah. Like, let me show you why you're not an imposter, because I will help you build this class or whatever this framework. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's been great. And, I feel like I should have done, like I said, earlier, I'm always about 12 months behind, and I talked about the last episode. So I would love to have started this. That'll be my one regret. And I always say it is like, I wish I would have started it earlier. I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yep.
And
second best time is today.
Second best time is today, right? And I posted up on X this morning. There's this you always say, "Oh, that was time well spent." Well, think about that. Every day we're spending our time.
No matter what,
it's the most valuable, precious thing we own. And every day we're spending it, and are we making those right decisions? And is it, so I am super committed to focusing on spending my time in valuable ways. And I'm also, I love helping people. It gives me a great feedback loop. We talked about the social stuff, social benefits in the last episode. It's a very similar thing. You want to work with great people, and you want to impact their lives in a positive way. So I would love to talk to business owners. shannongene.com/free, and we'll put a link in the show notes for you.
It's already there.
That's terrific. But I appreciate you letting me give me the opportunity to talk about it, Dave, and I'll keep talking about how it's working, whether I'm sure I'll fail miserably at some things and hopefully succeed.
I have no doubt. That's how we learn.
Yeah,
folks.
Good.
Thank you, to Shannon's point. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us, not just today, but over the last year, over the last 9 years for many of you. It really, that is not something that is lost on us. I know we say thank you at the end of every episode, and it might sound automatic. It might be automatic, but it is heartfelt every time. I say it because I mean it, and Shannon, I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for a great year. Have a safe new year, folks, and we'll see you next year. Make sure you check out gusto.com/businessbrain to get those 3 free months of payroll benefits admin, and keep living that charmed life. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
See you on the other side. Sweet.
Cool.
You're out.
Terrific. If you joined the live stream, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And
we're not business. We're post show now. That's right.
We are. There it is.
We're done. Yep.
That's good. That Gusto, that's a great sponsor.
I agree. I'm happy to have them back.
Yeah,
they've been on board in the past.
That's really cool.
It's been a while.
We need to update that sponsor page.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do.
Logos up there.
Yes, we do.
Very cool. And go check out that video.
That's pretty cool, man.
There's another service.
How do you spell it for anybody that's paying attention here?
invideo.io.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, go check it out. It's amazing. Upload some text, and you get to pick, the type of music you want, the person who's going to talk, the accent.
Did you give it a script, or did you just give it kind of a gist of what you wanted said?
I gave it. There's different ways you can do it.
Okay.
And one of the ways is scripted. So I uploaded I just cut and paste this post that I had done on X, all about that 2 tokens customer service that we love.
Yep.
And it created this. I was blown away. It took about 3 minutes, and it came up and made like I don't know how many minutes that video is, 3-4 minute video, all about showing it. And it got, what I was so impressed by is it got the context right. It shows customer service people, and it shows somebody getting upset, like this is the end of the world. And then it showed somebody smoothing things out, and I'm not paying for the service yet. The one I shared with you is just a free one, so it has the watermarks and stuff on it.
Yeah, of course. Sure,
but they also help you with copyright. They're like, hey, if you post this to YouTube and you get a copyright claim, here's how we'll help. We stand behind you. We'll help you, because they're paying for these large libraries and licenses of music, video, but you pick the music. You want upbeat, you want dark, and this kind of thing, and you can also edit frame by frame. So after they show it to you, you can say, I want to remove the second frame and replace it with something more like this. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
dude.
insane. Yeah.
Wow.
I will be using this a lot.
Oh, it sounds you know that shannongene.com/free doesn't exist yet.
Not yet.
Right.
It
will. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it'll exist before that show goes public. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I was trying to think. I'm like, okay, where do I send them? And I'll just go pull it out. Yeah. But that's great. Awesome. Well, that's terrific. I hope you have a great new year. Once you get stuff all set up, and everybody who's watching, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, folks. Oh, yeah, I guess I got to end the stream. There's nothing more to say.
That's it.